Stroke and Match Golf, released as Versus Men's Golf in the US, released in August of 1984. This is the first of many Versus system games, which are a series of arcade ports of NES games with changes being made to make the game fit better into an arcade format. The US and Japanese versions of this game have a decent amount of changes, which I will get into, but I've decided to play a little bit of both for this video. For the stroke play mode, I'm playing the Japanese version, while I'm playing the US version for the match play mode. I want to be upfront here and say that I have not completed this game to the extent that I'd consider beating it, at least not yet. I've put a frankly ridiculous amount of time into it, and I really just want to move on to other games for now, since Super Mario Bros. Is no longer as unreachable as it once felt. I still do show off all the unique golf courses in this video, so you will still see all the unique content this game has to offer, but I haven't completed all the courses under par. I also haven't beaten the CPU player, though as far as I have seen, not a single person has posted any proof of them beating it. I haven't even found any unsubstantiated claims there. The only people I've even seen mention the CPU player are just saying it's impossible. I've included my best runs of both modes here, though neither is as satisfying as I would want them to be. In the future, I will definitely return to this, but for now, I'm pretty sure my viewers would prefer me to actually post videos. Alongside an actual soundtrack and some new sound effects, this game does actually have a lot of new courses not featured in the NES game. A few of them have been ported over, with some slight changes to make them a bit more difficult. The course order is also somewhat randomized too, unlike the fixed order in the NES game. The US version has a lot less unique courses than the Japanese version for whatever reason, and also still a few differences between the courses from both. There being more courses in the Japanese version is why I picked it for the stroke play mode. There are 26 courses total, despite there only being 18 holes per game. This means you won't see them all in one run, but I have included footage of all of them in the video. There are going to be little subtitles labeling each unique hole for the description. One set of numbers is just the order I show them off in, and the other will be the order the Mariowiki lists them in. The US version only includes 21 holes for whatever reason, with the hardest of them being cut. Another reason I picked the Japanese version for this mode is the scoring system, which is just objectively better. You start off with 500 points, with each basically being equivalent to a point in relation to getting par. If you get par in a hole, it keeps your score the same. If you are above or below par, it'll add or subtract points based on how well you did. I believe the most you could lose per hole is 200, and you could gain a few extra if you manage to get a hole in one, which the game actually does acknowledge, unlike the NES game. I do have footage of me getting one of those during my worse off runs. As long as you don't get 0 points, you can continue for as long as you want. Even after finishing 18 holes, the game will just start a new set as long as you have remaining points. If you want to, you could say finishing an 18-hole round of golf without getting to 0 points is another way of beating the game, and I do accomplish that here, though I'm a few points above par. The US version is much greedier, giving you a strict amount of strokes you could use before cutting you off. It'll give you an extra stroke or two if you beat par, but that's pointless when each course requires you to use multiple strokes. This means you have to insert multiple coins to get through one single 18-hole game, even if you're playing perfectly. This game is generally a lot harder than the NES game, though I'm not sure if I could really explain why. The courses are generally more tricky, with a lot of water and out-of-bounds areas, and the putting green is shrunken down too. There's a few courses with frankly ridiculous par qualifications that may actually just be impossible if the wind is bad enough. The wind in general tends to be a lot worse than the NES version. But I also have a bit of a conspiracy theory relating to the wind in particular, which I cannot prove. If somebody in the future ever does look into this game's code and proves me wrong, then I will make the claim that I was joking and wasn't being serious. But if I was right, then I was not joking and I was 100% a genius the whole time. But I think the number given for wind speed might be lying. This is never an issue I had with the NES game, but there's so many times where the way the ball moves just does not make sense to me at all with how the wind speed works elsewhere in the game. Sometimes the wind will be 13 miles per hour and barely impact how the ball moves, and the other times it'll be 3 miles per hour and veer the ball so far off course. This all may just be copium though. I suppose one upside to this port has over the original is that it gives you an accurate distance for how far away each hole is, as it actually updates as you're playing. I think the new courses are visually interesting, with my favorite being the one that has 2 giant sand pits in the middle, which screws up the CPU a ton. If you somehow manage to have 12 shots in one course, the game automatically moves on to the next hole. In the US version, it is increased to 15. The only reason I know this is because the CPU can get trapped in an infinite loop of doing the same action over and over again. Here is one of the 2 times I achieved a hole-in-one. Somehow still managed to fumble this run though. Here are the few remaining courses that I didn't show off in my main run. One of them uses footage from me playing the match play mode, that's why there's a red ball there. for the match play mode, where you compete against a near-perfect computer player. Okay, near-perfect may be an exaggeration, but I have seen this guy get a hole-in-one before. There's some level of rubber banding, but generally he will almost get below par. The best I've gotten is him beating me by 1 point, which happened on 2 separate occasions. When I first started playing, this was what I focused on beating most, though the game doesn't actually directly acknowledge you beating him if you do. It just moves on. The worst part of this mode is how unbearably long it is. For every hole, you need to make your shot, wait for the CPU to calculate a shot, and then take it, make your shot, watch the game notify you that you're about to complete a hole under par, finish the course, watch the game, notify the CPU that it's about to complete a hole under par, and then watch the CPU finish the course. Congrats, now do it 17 more times, and if you make any dumb shots, restart from the beginning. You can base your shots off the CPU for any holes that he goes first on, which can make some of them a little bit easier. Like I said, I've seen no proof of anyone having beaten the CPU, though I do know that it's possible via save states. You just have to be damn good. I've seen quite a few videos of the stroke play being completed under par, though some of them did use save states and the others focused on the easier versus men's golf. And really, that's all I have to say about this one. I promise I'll come back and beat it legitimately, but for now I want to move on from golf. I should mention that there's a third variation of this game, versus ladies golf. I'm considering that one separate because almost all the courses are unique compared to the NES game and this port. Something to note though, is that there is no Mario in that one. You instead play as a random lady golfer. Because of that, I'm justifying myself for not beating it. I still will post a video showing off the best I've gotten in it, as well as showing every unique course, but I already know I'm not beating it.